Hello and welcome to the D20 Future Show. I am, as always, your host and your GM Richard, and I've muted Adam, so George crashed the introductory credits instead. Don't want to have to mute everyone for this. Here we go. I should have done that sooner, but I got put off by the fact there was discussion about the nature of communism, which is a weird callback to a game none of you guys are involved in. That's on my Friday night game. One of them, there is a goblin called Sniglet, and she is convinced that everything bad is called communism. And so she just says, "That is communism!" When she doesn't like something. It infuriates the players and is one of my favourite things. They have tried to explain what communism to her so many times, and she isn't having it. My other favourite thing about her is she demands payment at the end of each day, and then as soon as she is handed the coins, she throws them away. If at all possible, in a way that the players cannot recover. Alright. Anyway, that is by the by. We're already off topic. It's not good. Welcome, viewers, to the D20 Future Show. I am the host and GM Richard, and I've said that before. We're going to recap our D20 Future Show campaign of D20 Future. I've got this out for the first time in about a year because we're actually going to play D20 Future. We've played a few different things, some of which will be available on the VOD. I recommend our game of Sexy Battle Wizards if you can find that on our YouTube page. It's great. We're going to recap what's happened so far and hopefully elegantly slide into playing. We're going to start with a very basic summary of the campaign so far. Which is quite important, and then we are going to recap the last session, which I deleted, and so have not been able to put out. If you're one of our regular listeners, welcome. Thank you for jumping over to Twitch. We'll also continue to put out the podcast. You will know much of this, but for the sake of recapping, we're going to recap. So I'm going to ask each person to just introduce their character and roughly where they were on New Year's Eve 2035, or New Year's Day rather, or New Year's Eve 2034, New Year's Day 2035. And we're going to start with Adam. Go.
Am I unmuted now? You took me off the.
For now, you are now unmuted.
You've reinstituted my freedom of speech. Thank you very much.
You have audio privileges for now, Adam.
Great. So yeah, I'm playing. Sorry, I've got something in my throat now as well. I'm playing Nicole Hancock, or Nick for short. She's 5 foot tall. She's basically the opposite of the person that's talking in basically every way imaginable. She's short. She's a she for one. For another thing, she's posh, and she has like psychic powers. Spoilers.
Okay, and what was she up to on New Year's Eve at 2034?
Honest to God, this is as much of a recap for me as it is for everyone else.
Classic Adam. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Be better, Hutton. Excellent. Aled.
Hi, I'm Aled. I'm playing Brian Lyle. I am a mechanic by trade. My superpowers are water. I can fire water at my fingers, amongst other things, which hopefully we'll find out. And on New Year's Eve, I also can't remember. A lot has happened, literally, both in real world and in game world. It's been a long time since.
It has been a long time.
I remember
yes.
what happened around that time with the rock and the.
That's it.
Yeah, there was that magic rock.
Oh dear! It was someone's birthday, wasn't it? Was it?
I don't think it was anyone's birthday. It was New Year's Eve.
Oh,
You were all in Manchester celebrating because it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and a large rock appeared out of the sky and landed somewhere in the middle of Manchester. We went and found it. Something magical about it, and come the next day, it disappeared. And we had a fight with people as well.
That's pretty good. All right. Okay, George, tell me about your character.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, not me. Tell the viewer.
My character is Roland Lyle. He is the brother of Brian Lyle. He is a Formula 4 race car driver who is desperately trying to stay relevant in in the scene. His superpower is he's a pyrokinetic. He can do things with fire. And on New Year's Eve, he was, if I recall correctly, with his brother Nicole, and also Alex's character, drinking in a bar,
Friday.
celebrating New Year's Eve.
Yep. Okay. And since we've introduced him, let's talk to Alex about Freddy.
Yeah, my character is Freddie Jones. He is a nuclear physicist, not at all based on anyone I know in real life. His superpowers involve being able to manipulate matter into various shapes. And he was also with the other three characters that have introduced themselves so far on New Year's Eve.
All right.
Getting into fights.
And now, Charlie, let's not hear about your New Year's Eve 2034 because that's probably... Well, I mean, we haven't established what happened then in the campaign because you've joined in a bit later on. But if you want to tell us a little bit about your character and maybe about their kind of what leads into the campaign for your character.
Cool. I am playing Nathaniel Lovecraft, who believes himself to be some kind of descendant of the famous author Lovecraft. And so he believes himself to be a great author. He wrote one good book and he's trying to desperately sell more. Let's say on New Year's Eve, he was just drowning in his sorrows after a messy breakup. He lives in his parents' basement still, and where he's grew up, hasn't left. And his general superpowers are strength. Just a tough guy. He doesn't like using those powers though, because he thinks he's the more he uses them, the more he becomes more of a Hulk, and he doesn't really want to turn into that. Not quite. I think he was just investigating stuff that was going on. It's been a while since we've done this, but I'm sure he was investigating the stuff and the where he ran into these guys who were also investigating the stuff surrounding the rock.
Yes, exactly right. You guys met outside the Hexagon building, which is the Manchester base of a company called Evolvatech, they're a tech startup, who it's not entirely clear what they do. They certainly haven't released any mobile phones, but you keep finding Evolvatech 317 mobile phones, which is the one thing I think Adam has got in his notes. You keep finding them.
Have notes?
Okay, even that has not made it onto your character notes, Adam. Evolvatech 317, which is a mobile phone, smartphone that is yet to be released. However, the thugs that you beat up on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, it was sort of close to midnight. They had one with instructions, if I remember rightly, to come and recover the meteor rock, which you touched, instantly gaining superpowers, and that has been taken away. And you have investigated the chain where you suspect there is some link between the rock and Evolvatech. And it's Freddy. You have a friend, Alison Wood, friend from university, who got in contact with you.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Thanks for your input, Alex. Do you want to give us a little bit more?
It's been a long time.
You worked for Evolvatech.
I'll tell you, Alan, pick up the story from here.
Please.
Well, she saw some suspicious goings on in Evolvatech to do with Project Beta, which was to do
Very
Project
good.
Alpha.
But what is
Well, we don't know
Project
what-
Alpha? Foreshadow, 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 foreshadow.
And then that was to do with Project Beta was to do with arachnids, mega arachnids, not just some small ones, big ones.
Just really great ones.
Yeah, and a whole lot of chaos happened. I'm trying to remember what happened in the latest one.
Wasn't there an old lady in an alleyway at some point? Like a spider was trying to steal a purse or something.
There absolutely was. The first time you came across a giant spider, you were down an alleyway and there was an old lady and she was being attacked by 2 giant spiders, who you guys reduced to a pile of dust in about 3 seconds.
The spider or the old woman? Because we have.
I think the old woman got a
We have
taxi
history.
away, but the spiders you destroyed, but not before you killed them, and then some kind of circuit board set off and incinerated both of the spiders. Mysterious. This appears to be because they are part of Evolvotech's mega arachnid program known as Project Beta. But what is Project Alpha? Foreshadow, 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 foreshadow. At the same time, you have encountered a number of supervillains. You encountered Tremendous, who I kind of miss because he spoke like this. I am Tremendous! You must die!
There it is. His one and only catchphrase.
His catchphrase. Are you part of the test? And he was found in an abandoned bar quite close to Crazy Dave's bar. And
Next
for
door,
the
wasn't
viewers, next door. This is, if I can get it to resolve on the camera, that is Crazy Dave. He is a bar owner. He owns a bar in Manchester. Another
We
of
very
the
much saved.
another of the threads. Yep, Alex, tell us about that.
I was going to say, we saved Crazy Dave's bar and are now just completely abusing the free drinks that he offered us. Probably
yes.
drinking him out of business.
He pretty much said, you guys drink for life, and you have very enthusiastically accepted that as a thing you're going to do. Next door to the bar is an abandoned bar. Absolutely Munzo 8. You can see Crazy Dave again. I'm going to just see if we can do something about the brightness. There he is. That is Crazy Dave. These are from my my NPC portraits deck, which I shall plug later if you're interested. They're a thing I made. Next door to the bar was an abandoned bar, and in it you found Tremendous, a man who was part man, part tree. We are hopefully going down NPC picture memory lane if I can find. I don't think I have Tremendous anymore. He was a giant tree man. Nope, I don't. You killed him, which I think was your second murder. The first one being when you killed a guy with a brick in Ancoats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nicole did that.
Yeah, I did.
That was the first session. Number 1 murder.
To be fair, I think it was accidental. Like, it was a telekinetic brick. wasn't it?
All right. Your first manslaughter, your first homicide, let's say, because none of them went to court. But on further investigation, down the stairs was a television screen inviting Mr. Hedera, who you assumed was Tremendous, to a warehouse where he would face his final test in order to become part of the society. You decided not to go to that warehouse because only an idiot would do that, and I had to improvise more of the campaign.
Not bitter at all, are you?
But you have also encountered the Glazers. That is Malcolm and Joel Glazer. They are somewhere in here. That's Joel and... There they are. These are not as good pictures, but there is Malcolm and Joel Glazer. They were the Glazers, and they supported Manchester United, kind of, and controlled glass. They appeared at a Formula 4 race meet where they smashed everything up and broke some of the cars, but you had a race anyway. which tremendously pleased Roland of the Red Eagles.
Yep.
The Red Eagles racing
Correct.
team, because your car was undamaged and you won by miles. You also then faced some scorpions. George, do you want to tell us about Smash Cut, who I think is the most... Smash Cut and Star Wipe were the two most recent supervillains you encountered.
Sure. Yes, we went back to the racetrack, following some kind of lead, and we ran into Smash Cut and Star Wipe, two seemingly evil supervillains, if you will. We defeated them, and instead of killing them, persuaded Smash Cut, who smashes and cuts,
hence the name,
to aid us in tracking down whoever is responsible for the giant arachnids and scorpions. We managed to persuade him to lead us to whoever it was who was conducting these attacks, and he led us to some part in the outskirts of Manchester, where he was then abducted before we could get to whoever he was meeting. We then chased the abductors in a car and lost them, but not before running into a warehouse. Am I right so far?
Absolutely spot on. Yeah, and in that, we're going to have to go back because we've missed out some details. But in that warehouse, you encountered... Sorry, Alex?
I was going to say, we've missed out one of the most important characters here, the Manchester Guardian.
Oh, don't worry, we're coming to him. But you encountered a monster who, again, need to just darken it a bit. There you go. This creature, who is known as Frank, and you fought and defeated Frank, and that was pretty much where the session ended. You also met, coming in the other day, in the other door, a man called, here he is, Loony Dave, the other Dave in the campaign. Loony Dave is a conspiracy theorist and writes a conspiracy theory blog in which he is investigating the giant spiders and scorpions that have been seen in Manchester, and why none of the supervillain attacks ever seem to make the news. And he was investigating that and met, and if I remember rightly, we ended the session with him coming through the fire escape and seeing you and you seeing him. Yes, Munzo8, we have two Daves. We have Crazy Dave and we have Loony Dave. And Crazy Dave's my favourite, but we have more than one Dave. So
this was a plot point early on in the campaign, if I remember correctly, that then just got out of hand.
As they tend to. Okay,
I feel like we have also missed out one of the most important events as well. The burning down of the office.
Don't know what you're talking about.
What office?
The fact that the Lyle twins broke into Evolvatech's headquarters and then, as part of their plan to escape, set off the fire alarm by burning a door. We'll miss that out. If you want to catch that, then you'll need to go to the backlog of podcasts, which I think means you need to email me so I can share you on the Google Drive, because they are no longer available because we do not have enough money. Are Loony Dave and Crazy Dave related? No. Crazy Dave is black for a start. Someone else you have encountered as part of this is the Manchester Guardian,
aka Manny G,
who is never ever known as Manny G.
It's literally the only note I have about him in all my notes is Manny G, the Manchester Guardian.
The Manchester Guardian. Does anyone want to recap us on the Manchester Guardian? Is anyone brave enough?
He can fly, but only once a day.
He can fly, but only once a day, meaning that if
he flies in and then has to walk off.
Has to walk home, yes. Sometimes using the phrase up and away before running around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
He wears a superhero costume. He's like legit embraced the superhero lifestyle, unlike us who were reluctant. Although we did get, some of us wore something that he gave us.
Yes, he claims to be supported by a benefactor who, when you asked about who he was, basically went, I don't know. But he enthusiastically accepts this benefactor's help, which include directing him to supervillain attacks sometimes, and a superhero suit which disguises his face so that he appears to look like one person, but when he takes the hood off, looks like a completely different person. You each have one of those suits, which you could use or not. We have one more thread, I think, which is, if you're listening to the podcast, is pretty much where we're at. And that is that you decided that you needed to rescue. I say decided. Eventually, I persuaded you that it was essential for the plot to move forward that you rescue your friend, or Freddie's friend, Alison Wood, who came to you saying, I found evidence that my employer, Evolvatech, there's that name again, are making giant arachnids for illegally. I don't know what to do. They know I know about Project Beta, but what is Project Alpha? Foreshadow. So help. And she is then attacked by giant spiders, and when you aren't looking, is kidnapped by thugs who drive away in a van. Lots of thugs drive away in a van in this campaign. It's a bit of a go-to move for me. She rings to say, I'm in the basement of the Evolvatech building. Come and rescue me. Help. And eventually you did. Where you met Nathaniel Lovecraft, who is a super strong science fiction author, who is also wanting to investigate because he believes that the secret to what was done to him lies in the basement of the Evolvatech building. You broke in. You scared the life out of some security guards who shut themselves in an office and promised they wouldn't come out if you left them alone. You killed some spiders, you killed some scorpions, and then you rescued Alison. You brought her out of the basement, and she decided she was going to flee the country and has removed herself from the situation. I think that brings us up, except we have some character arcs that we might need to talk about. Nathaniel has touched on his, which is that he is deeply concerned that when using his superpowers he becomes closer and closer to Frank, that he may lose his humanity entirely. Adam, do you want to tell us about what Nick has going on personally?
Well, yeah, as part of Nick's whole deal, when she gained superpowers, she started to get visions, which was my way of letting Richard force me into doing plot-based things rather than just messing about like I always want to. So yeah, she has visions of certain things.
And sometimes you act upon those visions.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they have to ring you up and tell you need to rescue them.
Yeah. Well, when it's Alison, it's not worth the hassle. She's a liability. Well, she was. She was a liability. But yeah, so I sometimes have blackouts and visions. Sometimes in awkward situations as well. In the middle of a fight, blacking out. Not ideal, but yeah, that's my character arc.
So a couple of details. It's been a while, everybody. So these guys, I mean, it all lives up here, but not everybody can keep up with it. You have a dream, or had a dream, to work in government, but your visions have essentially said that if you are to leave Manchester, the place will burn to the ground and be destroyed. And so you had to turn down your dream job at DEFRA.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, that's all in the past now, though.
You've moved on. Glad to hear it. Freddie, do you want to tell us about what's going on with Freddie?
Yep. Not actually sure if everyone else knows about this yet in the whole thing.
I don't think anybody does.
Because we did these as individual things. So I think unless people have been listening to the podcasts, I think it's only you and me that will actually know about this yet. So I have also been getting some slightly strange alien-based visions, where I'm seeing alien machinery in one of my dreams and have and feel as though I'm almost creating or changing the space into an alien style space area. And I think in the last session we did, that manifested itself as a new superpower for me of creating a alien drone, which fought for us and did a great job of dispatching Frank.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
Yes, the alien drone that you create. Or the drone. No one's sure that it's alien, but you're pretty convinced there is something very unearthly about it.
There's not actually been any aliens in my vision, so to speak. It's just clearly not human technology, and it's clearly just come from somewhere to do with my powers. And I highly suspect alien.
All right, and I think then the only other character beat that we have to pick up is with Brian Lyle.
Hey. Mine is less fantastical and more just very Mancunian. I am currently at the mercy of a protection racket by the McMahons crime group, who have basically knocked on my door and said that I owe them £1,000 a week for protection, whatever that means. Well, it means that they'll break my legs if I don't pay it, but yeah.
Yes,
they weren't quite so explicit, but
it's certainly implied, and you certainly inferred that there would be violence dealt upon you unless you are being bled dry by this organisation. But you have currently not told anybody else about it.
I think
from
his
brother.
Yeah.
Oh
we had a
yes,
conversation
yes, he
about
has.
We did. Yeah.
I can't remember what we decided we'd do about it, but the pressure is shared now.
The last thing you did was pay up, which
yes,
may be sensible. And that, viewer, is a recap of a campaign that's been going for a couple of years now, I think. Although the last 12 months we haven't played a session since I deleted the best sounding and the best kind of plot-wise session we have, I think, ever had. So it'll only get better in my imagination. So far, I like it. So with all of that in mind, I'm going to cut us to our multi-view rather than our individual character view, although none of the players can see that, only you, the viewer, can. And then I'm going to quickly put everyone's name correct, because it never comes out the right way. When we've done that, we are going to pick up with Loony Dave walking into the warehouse and seeing the group of you, which includes a very beaten up Manchester Guardian, who is, if my notes are to be believed, on 5 hit points. It's been a rough day. Hopefully everybody's hit points is also accurate. I think you're all taken some damage, but as I say, you very much handed out the pain to Frank the Beast. So here we go. I'm going to cut to that card. So nearly got that right. There we go. And let's make some notes. That is George.
I seem to be on full health.
So do I.
I've only taken 1 hit point.
This would be the perfect time for a sponsor plug. Anyone out there would like to sponsor us, then
It would be,
yeah. If you want to sponsor us, do let us know. We are prepared to sell out immediately, and I think we've made that very clear on every episode of the podcast we've ever put out.
I thought that was a bit of news that I hadn't heard. That we're sponsored by. Oh, wait.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're still begging. We're still on our knees begging. Okay, fine.
Not sponsoring us, but if they wanted to, it would be cool. But awesome nonetheless. Our Loki battle mats. You can't see, and there's too much stuff. I need a lot of stuff to running this game in a way that you just don't when you're a player. They gave us a Cyberpunk battle mat which has the warehouse on it that we were using. They are awesome. Well worth your time, and in particular your money. They don't sponsor us, but if they did, it would be rad. Okay, everyone's name I think is correct. Viewer, if you have any questions or anything you want clarifying, do ask, because, we can always edit it out for the podcast, and if you want to know, then we can let you know. But we are going to pick up in the warehouse. The Manchester Guardian sinks to his knees, breathes heavily. As the door opens, you all take a deep breath, wondering what on earth is coming in, and then a man with a tinfoil hat walks in and says, What? What are you doing here?
Roland
What are you doing
ignores
here?
Loony Dave and stoops down to the Manchester Guardian and says, Manny G, are you okay?
I told you never to call me that. I'm so much pain.
If I've got a like a med pack or a healing kit on me, then I will.
I think I
try
bought a
and
first
patch him
aid
up a
kit.
little
I'm
bit.
not sure.
Okay, if you're wearing your
Not sure
super
who else I'd
suits and thus getting the armor bonus to do so, you
Yes.
each have a med kit.
Great, Roland does that.
Okay, Roland, give me a treat injury check. This is where we all try and remember how this game works, because it's not the same as 5th ed D&D.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
But I get a whopping -1 to that, so that's a 4.
All right.
Sounds like I know.
As you attempt to apply just an unopened bandage to one of his wounds, the Manchester Guardian goes, "Ah!"
I'm sorry. I thought this just helped.
Here, let me give you a hand. I take over and try and do some healing for him.
Go for it.
Take some emotional
That is
damage. from the cold damage.
a 9, but with a bonus of 4. Plus 4, so 13.
I think it's a DC 12 check, but I'm going to get the book out because I can't remember. One of these tabs should
Slightly important.
It's quite important.
While you are looking up the rules,
for
Roland
it.
will just try and kind of walk past Loony Dave and look out the back of the warehouse to see if he can see anything, just to make sure that they're alone.
Just
All
to
right.
clarify, who is actually wearing their superhero suits at the moment?
I think I put it on.
So I did, but I remember not everyone did. I don't think.
No, I haven't. I don't trust it.
I don't think I did put it on.
No, I don't
have-
think you did either.
I have not wearing written at the bottom of my character sheet, so I'm going to assume that
Okay.
it hadn't changed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I vaguely remembered not everyone taking to them particularly quickly, but I have got it on my character sheet that I'm wearing it, so...
I haven't even got it on
and
my
I do
character
remember
sheet.
that some people did.
Okay, I'm going to say, because I can't find it quickly, that it is 12 DC. So, he recovers D4 hit points.
Oh,
Ooh.
crazy.
D20 Modern.
Is that you taking that role or me?
You do it. D20 Modern. It ain't 5th ed D&D. You don't just
D4,
recover hit
right.
points. D4 hit points, yeah.
He regains 1 hit point.
You manage to staunch some of the bleeding from one of the many wounds, and he says, "Oh, thanks." He also knows that you don't get to do that again until tomorrow. So that's as healed as he's going to get today. While all of this has been going on, Loony Dave has just been staring at you all. He is completely perplexed as to what is going on.
He can only tell who Nick and Brian are, can't he? Because the rest of us are wearing the camouflage superhero suits.
Correct.
I guess so.
But even then, did we ever actually meet him?
No, we've never met him, no. We've never met Loony
he's a
Dave.
friend of, he's a
That's
friend
true.
of,
He only knows me.
Yeah,
he's a
that's
He
friend
only
of-
knows me.
And
So how does he know who we are?
So he
He
has
does
got
not.
no idea who you are. He just wants to know what you're doing here. I think that works. Who are you? And that's the Manchester Guardian. What's going on?
Who are
I
you
turn
and what
around
do
to
you
him,
want?
well aware that I'm fully camouflaged and he doesn't know who I am, and say, and try and like disguise my voice slightly.
Yep.
Just to sound a little bit different. I'm not trying too hard. Just say a
Okay.
The Christian
Bit of
Bale
an
Batman
act
instead of
and
the
say-
Ben Affleck Batman. That kind of.
yeah. I'm not trying hard here, not to sound like me, just a little bit.
Okay. Give me just a straight up D20 check.
19.
All right, you do a really good job of disguising your voice, just enough that if you're not listening for it, you wouldn't know it was you.
Yeah.
When you say,
and I turn around to him and say, Dave, we know who you are. We know what you've been looking at.
you're one of them.
That's all I say.
We can see your internet history.
He looks kind of worried. He says, "You're part of the Illuminati."
No.
One of them, Roland says.
He
Oh,
looks-
you think the Illuminati are in charge? You're in for a real surprise.
Loony Dave's world starts to melt as he just can't go. Look, I just want the truth. I'm investigating these supervillain attacks, and he points to the kind of monster collapsed on the floor. Those things that they've been appearing. The Manchester Guardian defeated one. Now there's another one here. What's going on?
Taking care of these. You don't need to worry about it.
I think I do need to worry about it. There are monsters
What are you gonna
attacking
do
our
about it?
city.
Are you going to stand up and fight them?
Well, I am fighting with the only weapon I have, and that's the truth. He ever so slightly
have
adjusts
my,
his tinfoil
heavy iron
helmet. Sorry, Charlie.
I just heft my heavy iron bar. It's the only weapon I have.
Really big iron bar though.
I just grab a piece of the ground and just morph it into something like just a staff, just anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. It doesn't need to look good or anything like that.
Okay, just cross off a level 1 use of your powers then, if you have any powers left.
I don't believe. Have I got a?
Can't remember if ticked boxes means I've used them or haven't used them.
I'm pretty sure tick boxes mean you have used them.
Yeah,
I should
I've
be.
used all mine.
I should be.
Yeah.
At this point, viewer, we are going to recap how many action points, because an action point can be use of a superpower, and you each have a bunch of them, and you never use them. So, no, don't look at Alan's notes. That won't help us. Brian, you have 7 action points left.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie, you have 12 action points
12.
left.
But I still have another use of my superpowers, so it's fine. I don't
Okay.
even need to use one at this point in time.
Nathaniel, you have 17 action points left. I cannot persuade these people to use these action points. And Nick, you have 16.
Mm-hmm.
And Roland, you have 9. And action points, viewer, it's a D20 modern, and I believe D&D 3.5 ed mechanic. You can use it to add a D6 to any skill roll or attack, but also you can use it in exchange for the use of a superpower of the kind of live hack superpowers that we do. They do not reset daily. They reset, or you gain more as you level up. So they are not a kind of renewable resource as ever. This is not 5th ed. However, the use of superpower abilities do reset overnight. So it's about how many levels per day that you use. So that is what's going on. And as you are standing around, this is the bit where I need to clear my map. As you're standing around, as Loony Dave is explaining, he starts to tell you about his blog and about how his investigations have led to this warehouse that he believes is linked to the supervillain attacks. You hear a skittering sound. And I'm just going to place you in this warehouse. So I don't have Nick. There's Nick.
I mean, she's
Well,
very
I'll
tall.
I'll
you
say
might have missed her.
to Loony Dave, I'll say, take cover. We're not alone.
Excellent. There's Nicole. She's... Again, it's too bright.
Wow, that's like.
There you go.
It's coming.
She's
It's
tiny.
How many lights do you have behind you?
I just
your
have the
webcam?
one. It's just really bright. It's to try and get things to look right.
Sure.
Let me find some. Yeah. We'll start off easy. As you say to Dave, take cover. We're not alone. 3 spiders, 2 giant spiders and 1 huge spider. Viewer, huge spiders are slightly bigger than giant spiders. Burst in through the same door. You might say they might have been following Dave, but you can't be sure. At this point, we're going to roll for initiative for the first time in 2021. Let's find my spider stat blocks.
Oh yeah.
Big numbers.
Big numbers, all right. I write these down. So, 25 or more.
Not that big.
20 or more. Nope.
Not quite.
15 or more.
17.
16.
All right, so we've got Roland. We've got Nathaniel. Okay, 10 or more.
13.
We've got Nick. And then we've got Freddie. So who does that leave? Brian?
Me, lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. All right. Okay, so we've got the spiders. And then Brian. I'd better roll for... All right.
Manny G.
Manny G. What is... I've got his character sheet here. He is... Initiative is +0, so he is last. I stress, he's not called Manny G. He's called the Manchester Guardian. And we will...
Never gonna happen.
we'll
How
stick in
soon
here.
after we'd been having this conversation with Loony Dave?
Loony Dave, yeah. Crazy
was
Dave
it
is running a bar.
That we ran into that these spiders ran in, because I'm just thinking for my objects that I've just created.
So pretty much immediately, but roll a 6-sided dice and tell us how many rounds it lasts.
1 times 2 rounds.
Okay.
It lasts for 2 rounds.
Where are you, Freddie? So
The
you're,
lowest
you're,
number it could possibly last for.
you're at the back as well. So I think so. For the next 12 seconds, you are armed with a steel rod. Thankfully, you've got action points, so it's all going to be fine, guys. All right, Roland, you see the 3 spiders burst in through the door.
Okay, awesome. Roland is going to take a step in front of Manny G, in between him and the spiders to try and protect him.
Yep.
I will then
The
use
Manchester
an
Guardian.
action point to regain the use for superhero power and ignite my fists of fire.
Okay, how long do they last?
There's a D6 rounds, which is a total of... There's a D8. 5 rounds.
5 rounds of fire. Excellent. Okay, yes. So Roland's superpowers, one of which is he lights up his fists with fire and becomes awesome at fighting. Cool. So you have moved. So you stand between the spiders and the Manchester Guardian.
And I'm just eyeing that huge spider up. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're giving it the eye. You're looking at eye to eye to eye to
Yeah.
eye to eye to eye.
Eye to 2 eyes to 8 eyes. You know what I mean?
My wife is subtly in the corner. You can watch us on the internet. You can watch us on Twitch. That's a thing you could do. That's where we are.
Okay.
Hello, Donna's wife. Oh no! Oh, I realised what I just did. I didn't realise that straight away.
You realise what everyone's laughing
Yeah.
at.
I tried to make the effort to not say a name, and then I said, Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That was
So
that
close.
Was, it's what I'm here for.
All right. Nathaniel, you are standing. Where is it? You are standing to the kind of north of the warehouse. So you're kind of north of the group. You have a straight line up the spiders if you wanted to run at them. You don't,
How
of course.
far away are
They are. The closest one is 25 feet away.
Could I chuck the heavy iron bar right at them?
Yes.
Is that
Do you
too far
have your
away?
super strength activated?
Or would I activate it?
Yep. Okay. Activate your super strength.
Yes,
Tell us how long it lasts.
How am I doing this? It's been a long time.
It has. Let me see if I'll pull up your character sheet as well. So
Restarting.
your level 2 power is +5 to strength, so you're going to need an action point to do it, unless you've got two level 2 hero points or whatever we call them, and they last for we're going to say d6 plus 1 rounds because that's what it's got on your character sheet.
Cool. 6, 7.
Okay, 7 rounds of super strength. You feel the strength coursing through your veins. You feel your muscles all kind of swell slightly underneath your coat, and you feel yourself maybe slightly losing control as you hurl this steel rod. Did you say?
Heavy iron bar.
Just a heavy
Don't know where I
iron
got it.
bar. You hurl it at the spider. Make a what should we say? Well, it's a ranged attack, so but add 5 to it because you're using your strength to make this attack. So,
Sure.
oh, mama, I've just seen your basic attack bonuses. +5. Go for it.
We're all done natural 19, so
Yeah, you hit.
26.
Oh boy, do you hit! Let's say you do 1d6 plus your strength bonus damage. So that's 1d6 plus 8 because of the super strength.
11 altogether.
11 points of damage. Let me see. Does that just kill the spider? It does not. So that is giant spider 2. That was 11 points of damage, you said. So he is now on
Correct, yeah.
that many. Okay. That is on. Awesome. Nick. You are stood next to the Manchester Guardian with Loony Dave kind of in front of you. Obviously, Roland has kind of stepped in between the Manchester Guardian and these spiders. And beyond all of that is Brian, who is closest to the spiders, but we'll come to that.
Let me get my thing back up. Can I?
No.
Is it? Okay, never mind.
Brilliant, we'll move on.
Yeah, that's fine. Is it like a decent brick or anything that I can control?
There is, let's say there's a packing case that you can hurl at, you can control, yes.
Cool. Can I do that then? And try and make it just fly into one of the spiders?
All right, yep. Cross off one of your uses of your superpowers. And yeah, you control a packing crate and make a ranged attack at which of the spiders?
Whichever one's closest.
Okay, that's giant spider number 2.
What's my range? Nice. Oh, that's an 8.
That's an 8. I have a feeling his defense is more than 8. It is. The spider kind of just sort of swishes out of the way as this packing crate flies over its head.
And then can I take some steps back because I am squishy?
No, because you've taken control and then made an attack. That's 2 actions. You are, however, you're not right in the firing line, not least of which because Roland is standing fists of fire in between you and the, or sort of closer to the spiders than you. Freddy, you are stood right at the back, holding an iron bar that you get the feeling isn't going to last for very long.
How far away am I?
You are 45 feet away from the huge spider. There is a whole mass of people between you and the spiders.
I'm not actually going to get to them by the time the iron bar runs out, am I? I'll close in. I can move 25 feet.
All right, you kind of move level, just kind of level with Roland, and the iron bar seems to kind
that'll
of
do me.
blink in and out of existence in your hand for a moment. Cool. It's the spider's turn. The huge spider closes with Brian and makes an attack. Here we go. Does 12 beat your defense?
No.
You managed to duck out of the way of the thing's vicious bite. Its mandibles snap as you desperately kind of duck out of the way, and it misses. Giant spider number 1, however, closes in, and that is 21, which I think would even hurt Roland.
Yeah, that definitely hurts.
Okay. That is 3 points of damage you take.
Okay.
Awesome. And giant spider number 2 charges towards Nathaniel and attacks. Well, you did actually hit him.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
However, he snaps and you manage to just sort of block and lift up the head as the mandibles snap at you. It hisses, as all giant arachnids do in this game. Cool. Loony Dave freaks out. He just sort of screams and freezes and has no idea what to do. Brian, you're surrounded by 2 spiders.
Yeah, and I'm also sort of freaking out.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna smack one on the head. Just give it a palm.
The giant spider or the huge spider?
The the smaller one of the 2.
Okay. Yep.
Which will be I rolled a natural 1.
First natural 1 of the year. You swing, and really you misjudge it and almost overbalance. You don't hit.
Is opportunity attack the thing in this? Yeah.
Very much so. Yes. So you could make a 5-foot step to get away from them safely, or you could risk an opportunity attack from both monsters.
Can I make a 5-foot step even though I've attacked?
Yes, because this is.
I make a 5-foot step, and
okay. Let's say
my
there's a spider north of you and a spider east of you, so you could step diagonally away from them both.
Yeah, a step 5-foot diagonal, and then sort of make a bit of distance between me and them.
Okay.
Who's near me? Who can I run behind?
I mean, you can't run behind anyone because your 2 actions were to attack and then take a 5-foot step. But you are now sort of near Roland. He's 10 feet away from you.
Help!
The Manchester Guardian gathers himself to his knees and And then there's a sort of moment where you're not sure what he's doing as he puts his hands by the side of his face, and then eye beams blast out of his eyes
Sick.
and strike giant spider number 1. Doing nothing. They miss. So they could towards but miss. That's one of his 4 uses of Eye Blast for the day. I don't know how I'm going to record this. And he steps in front of Nicole. Sort of bravely steps in front, standing between you and the spiders. His chin looks just amazing.
But a bit beaten up.
I mean, he is beaten up, but his chin has never looked more lantern-jawed than as you see it step in front of you. Not just the jaw,
Fair enough.
the whole of him, but the jaw is the bit that really catches Nicole's eye. Roland.
Okay. Roland's going to run up to the spider that's already taken some damage.
Yep. Ooh,
And just
that's kind of behind you now. So the two that are... You could do that, but you have to kind of move between people and risk contact with the giant spider. Or you could just contact one of the two that's have been attacking.
Can I just run up to the huge spider?
Yep.
Great. I'll run up to the huge spider then. And
Yep.
attack him and fight defensively.
Okay, so you're
For
-4 to an attack.
4 to my attack, +2 to my defense.
Yep.
That is a 12.
You hit. Your flaming fists make contact with the spider.
Great. That is 6 points of damage in total.
6 points of damage as your flaming fists break in through the exoskeleton. You hear ichor sizzling, and you feel the satisfaction of your flaming fists making contact with the enemy.
Awesome.
Nathaniel, there is a huge spider trying to bite you.
There is. I want to grab both of his pincers and just pull.
Okay,
In intention to rip them up, break his face a little bit.
go for it. Make a melee attack.
Natural 20.
Yes.
After the 19, that's kind of decent.
Okay, because this is based on 3.5, confirm the critical by making another roll.
Sure.
But you are adding, obviously, 11 to this, so...
Oh, so D6.
That is, that's... So you confirm the critical, so it does double damage. Roll, I think it's 1d4 plus your strength bonus, which is obviously 8.
That's just 9.
9, so doubled is 18 points of damage applied to
Crazy.
the spider, which means that you grab hold of its pincers and just kind of rip the whole spider in two, and you are for a moment holding two halves of a giant spider. Brown and green ichor drips on your hands and on the floor. The spider is dead. And for your second action...
Oh, come on.
Some of us are more combat orientated than others.
Right, I thought that was a joke. Do I genuinely get second action?
Yeah. You get 2
Brilliant, in that
actions.
case, I'm able to run to the next one and just
Yeah.
punch.
So you can't punch it, but you can run to the next spider. So if it attempts to move away from you, then you can give it a punch. So you run past the freaking out Loony Dave, who is now staring at horror at you. You run past and run in as if to attack the giant spider. That's the end of your turn, Nick.
So, okay. wrong page open again. I'm always ready. I'm just going to try and finger and fire.
Finger of fire.
Yes.
Easy for you to say, my friend.
Yes. Just as the spider again.
Okay. First of all, do you want to continue to control the crate?
Oh no! If I still have control of that, then yeah.
Make a concentration roll.
I need to go on my other page. 13.
Yeah. Okay. So you still have control of the crate. You can now finger the fire if you wish to.
Yeah. Oh no! I'll use the crate again.
Okay.
I'll do that again.
All right. It's a little bit tricky because Nathaniel is very much standing between the crate and the spider, but.
That sounds like his problem, not mine.
All right.
Well, I rolled a 15.
A 15? Yep, okay. So the packing crate swings Nathaniel. There is a whoosh sound as a packing crate comes right over your shoulder. Let's have D6 damage on the giant spider. 1 point of damage.
You don't... No.
Okay, 1 point of damage. Please roll me another D6. Another one?
Have a guess. Another one, yeah.
The packing crate shatters into splinters of wood. It is no longer a meaningful piece of normal. It is no longer a kind of cohesive object. It is now a collection of tiny shards of wood.
So, is there any? Am I still relatively safe in terms of positioning?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the
okay,
Manchester Guardian is stood in front of you, so
yeah.
If they're going to get to you, they have to go
The
through
Manchester
him.
Guardian, who has incredibly low health.
Yeah.
I was going to say, can I just, as kind of a show of strength, how tall is he?
The Manchester Guardian is 6'6".
Yeah, so the 5-foot little girl
Yep.
is just going to run and get us, protect him.
All right, you step around him, so there's now
Yeah.
the Manchester Guardian, and you step in front of him and sort of give it a whole kind of... and then right in front of you is Brian, who is backing away from the spiders, sort of backing in almost into you.
Yeah.
Freddy, you could, if you go straight for him, run in and make contact with the huge spider and attack him with the rod before it disappears.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Does sound like probably the only plan that I've got at the moment. Unless I spend an action point to do something more fantastical, but I don't really want to at this point in time.
Is it
so
too heavy to chuck?
Run in and smack it with a bat.
Go for it. Okay.
Improvised. Bat-like object. Right. Going to remember all my bonuses and where they are. That is 13.
13. You rush in and smack you feel something crack as the carapace gives for a minute, doing D6 plus your strength bonus damage.
5 points of damage.
Doing 5 points of damage to the huge spider. Before there is inevitably a pop sound, and the rod just disappears, and you sort of almost lose your balance as the swing that was kind of being stopped by the rod and the spider gives way. You stumble. Give me a dexterity roll. Just a straight dexterity. No, reflex save. That's how these rules work. Give me a reflex save.
You end up underneath the spider.
Tumble.
That sounds like,
Reflex.
You roll. Oh yeah, you stumble and you fall over. You're now prone. Cool. The huge spider attacks the man with the flaming fists rather than the one who sort of cross-batted him with a thing that then disappeared. That is 19, which I have a sneaky feeling with your extra 2 means I don't hit you.
Really?
Yeah, even if I didn't have my extra 2, I'd be good.
Wow.
Fast characters are so broken.
Sure.
The spider lunges forward, snapping its jaws, and you kind of back away as the jaws snap just in front of you.
Kind of like Matrix dodge.
Absolutely.
The
You
jaws
Matrix
come.
dodge and are up again, and you're already swinging with your fist.
Awesome.
The giant spider whirls round and slashes one of its mandibles at Nathaniel, doing 2 points of damage.
This is a slow, painful fight. This 1.2 point minimum damage like almost every time.
I'm sorry. Would you like me to have more dangerous creatures, Adam?
No, I'd like us to do more damage. That's what I'm saying.
The spider's out of the way. Loony Dave snaps to his senses as he realises this is really dangerous and dashes off behind a piece of racking. And you see him pull out his phone camera. Brian.
So what's left? Just the...
So there's one giant spider and one huge spider, and you are stood as part of apparently a just direct line that starts at the back with the Manchester Guardian, with Nicole in front. You are then next, and then in front of you is Freddie, who has fallen over, and in front of that is Roland.
Can I help Freddy up so that he doesn't have to spend an action on his next turn getting up?
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Help him to his
is a good
feet.
thing to do.
I was hoping for a water jet, but
I have very
Whatever.
few action points, and I've used all of my superpower points for today. I feel like a couple of huge spiders, or well, one huge spider, a couple of giant spiders, aren't worth, you know.
We fought a few of these in the past with less powers than
Yeah.
we've currently got, so it's.
I'm sorry, viewer. We are
Yeah,
not going
we're
to
a
see a
bit
water
beaten up.
jet for now. Boo.
Sorry, I'm feeling a bit frail after
Water jet.
almost falling over trying to smack that spider.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm gonna help Freddy up, and then I want to make my way towards. Well, provided I see that Loony Dave is starting to film.
Yep. You help Freddy up, and then you run over to Loony Dave, and you are right next to him. The Manchester Guardian steps in front of Nicole.
Oh, please let the spears that ongoing.
And gives you a look that's just like, I've got it from here. And once again shoots eye beams. This time they strike the giant spider for some damage. Drop my pen, but that doesn't change the outcome. That's the Manchester Guardian. We're up to Roland. You have 4 rounds of Fire Fist left.
Great. I will fire fist the crap out of this huge spider.
Okay.
I will not fight defensively this time, though.
All right.
I could have got away with it. Never mind. That is a 19.
That
It's
is
a
a
hit.
hit.
Is that a critical or is that just a hit?
It was not a natural 19. It was a natural 13.
Ah, right, okay.
That is a total of 6 points of damage again.
Okay. Yep. The
Two
new
threes.
spider suffers another 6 points of damage. That's my mental arithmetic face, apparently. Cool. Yep. So you step forward, just start wailing on this creature. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nah, I'll just stay where I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. That's Ronan. Nathaniel.
I have a slight plan, but I'm not sure how it's going to work out.
Okay.
The spider that's in front of me.
Yep.
Am I able to ride it?
I mean, yeah, you can certainly try. Yeah,
How about trying to climb on the back?
make a reflex save.
I'd have thought this would be a
An animal handling check, I think.
Not in there.
yeah. There is
Yeah,
a handle
alright.
animal check.
Handle animal is about, if I remember rightly, is about controlling like things like horses and dogs, riding willing creatures. Let me have a look at what skill it's based on. Yeah, handle animal is based on your charisma. He is not using his charisma to persuade this creature to be compliant. He's just jumping on it. So make a reflex save.
7 plus 4. 11.
Yeah, as much as the spider attempts to writhe and get out, you manage to get on top of the spider. You're now riding the spider, which sounds like a euphemism for something, probably some sort of drug. Muns, I think, is probably, by the time I've seen this, gone. But thanks for joining us, Munzo8. Yeah, 2 weeks' time, we'll be back. Also available as a podcast on all good and evil podcast platforms. Yep, so you're now on top of the spider.
Okay. Do I get another action, or is that my...
Yeah,
full go?
yeah. You can now make an attack if you wish.
Less of an attack and more, can I try and pull him to direct him out of the room? Like to try and, pull him upwards and take him away.
I mean, that sounds like an animal handling check.
Now we're talking about a handle animal check. Give me a handle animal check while I try and work out what the DC would be.
When creating the character, whether it was the book or whatever I was using, there was like animal handle was there, but it didn't give me the options of what to do with it, so it's just blank. So
just add your charisma.
So in which case, if you didn't put any points in it, then it's just your straight up charisma roll.
Oh, -2, brilliant. 19 minus 2.
Wow.
17. Yeah, you kind of. So which you're trying to move him towards the door, are you, or just away from the people, or? Yep. Okay.
People, yeah.
Improbably, you wrestle the creature, which on its turn, which will be in a bit, on its turn, it will then move away from everybody. You have 5 turns of your super strength left. It's been a weird round so far. Nick.
So I'm going to make a bit more of an effort this time and be like, go round the Manchester Guardian and be like, Don't worry, big guy. Sort of hand on his chest. Don't worry.
Okay.
Spin back around.
Yep. So you can't step in front of the Manchester Guardian because that's where Freddy is, but you sort of step next to and between him and the spiders. One of which has got your friend Nathaniel on top of it. Sorry, Freddy?
I was going to say, I have just been pulled up by Brian. Am
it
I
was
in
a
exactly
space
the
for
same
Brian.
position as I was in?
Yeah. So you're in the same square. You're just now standing up as opposed to lying down.
So where was I fit in Brian's space then, don't I?
Nope, because the Manchester Guardian stepped into Brian's space when he stepped in front of you.
Well, okay, fair enough.
But you are very much with Freddy in front and you to the side, or you could step, in contact with the huge spider. If you wanted to be in contact with the huge spider, you'd be.
Is that the one that Nathaniel's dealing with?
No, the huge spider is very much the one that is being punched by the flaming fists of Roland Lyle.
I mean, they're both otherwise predisposed.
That particular one is currently in contact with Roland and me fighting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just making that obvious effort to be like, don't worry, I'm protecting you. And then swing back around. And seeing as I don't have a thing, I'll do a finger of fire. Which I don't remember what it is, but I'm just going to assume it's a ranged attack.
Okay, there will be a page reference on your character sheet by Finger of Fire.
Yep.
I'm going to assume it's this green tab.
Somewhere between 365 and 367, which is where all the psychic stuff is.
It
Page
is
366.
367. Finger of Fire. You make a ranged touch attack, so just make a ranged attack.
Oh, never mind. I mean, I didn't really roll it properly, but it's a port roll, so.
All right. You stretch out your finger at this spike, and then but just miss as the fire rockets out of your finger.
To be honest, it wasn't the spider that was my main concern in that round. It was
standing in front of the Manchester Guardian.
Trying to flex on someone who's 18 inches taller than me.
You hear, "What the hell?" from over your shoulder. Freddie.
Oh, yeah, I was meant to deal with that. Oh, never mind.
Nick steps shoulder to shoulder with you, stretches out, and then fire leaps from her finger nowhere near a spider.
I just laugh at her a little bit. Not very obviously, but just like a little bit of a snigger.
It's it's fair. We're friends at this point. It's fair.
And,
At this point, you've been friends for some time.
I've been his landlady for some time.
Well, your parents have been his landlady for some time.
I was gonna say, yeah.
He's the lodger, but you guys get on. Anyway,
Well-
I'm not sure I really want to spend an action point, considering that these are probably fairly beaten up by now, surely. Spiders. And aren't causing us an awful lot of trouble, so I'm just going to punch the thing.
okay. Make a melee attack.
A 9?
You punch and find a hard bit of carapace, and your fist just kind of makes contact, but doesn't do anything more than that. 9 does not beat his defense score. Cool. It's the
I
spider's
didn't think
turn.
it would somehow, but it was...
The huge spider, with various bits of it sizzling and on fire, bites at Roland. This is as ever, my flaw is I decide that Roland needs to go, and then remember that you just can't hit Roland because he's too fast.
Yeah, but
However,
if you do, I've only got 12 hit points. So.
Yeah. However, that four on a D20 means that I do not make contact with you.
No.
He then, yeah, no, that's fine. The giant spider attempts to remove Oh no, he's under control for this round, so he moves towards the door. Nathaniel, you feel yourself being moved towards the door as you maneuver the spider. Loony Dave.
Is that like an attack of an opportunity or something from anybody?
No, because no one is. The only person in contact with the giant spider is Nathaniel, who is on top of him. So, her. It's a spider. We haven't checked. So you've just sort of wrestled it, and the spider has, as you've wrestled its head, maneuvered towards the door. Loony Dave goes, "This is wild!" As he continues to pan his camera around. Brian, you're now stood next to Loony Dave, who has just gone, "This is wild!"
Yeah,
Or
I
to
put
get
my
his
hand
phone.
over the camera, over his phone, and I go, I suggest some things don't leave this place, particularly if you don't want the Illuminati targeting people who know more than they should. Yeah?
Make an intimidation check.
Intimidation.
It is
Oh, I've got
intimidate
a
under
0.
hide.
Yeah, I have 0 charisma, so...
Oh, no,
It's a
in
12.
the game, Alad, in the game.
Shots fired.
Oh, they mirror each other. I understand. Yeah, it's 12. It's a feeble attempt.
Yeah, as you kind of try and fix him with a glare, you see that you have not made much impression on the otherwise kind of compliant Loony Dave, who says, "No, we've got to get the truth out there," and continues to film. The Manchester Guardian steps around Nicole
How?
and Freddy, and kind of round. So you're now almost completely enveloping the huge spider, and he, I think he's used his super strength today, but he starts to attempt to punch the spider. That is plenty, particularly with the +4 for flanking. That is... He's so hard. That's not great, but he does some more damage to the huge spider. He says, "Take that, creature of evil!" as he punches. That's the Manchester Guardian. Top of the round, Roland.
Hey, I'm going to try and slide under the huge spider's belly and just kind of like punch straight up.
All right.
Not fighting defensively here.
No, I think it'd be a stretch to fight defensively while sliding under the creature's belly.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I'm going all out on this one. That's an 11 for a 17.
17 is enough.
2d6. That is 11 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. Your fist
Nearly max.
punches into the spider guts, and your hand is now sizzling with fire and ichor. As you do, how much points? How many points of damage?
11.
11 points of damage. Yes. The creature it's got ichor and burn marks and breaks and just everywhere. It looks in bad shape.
It's not dead yet?
It's
What?
not dead yet. It's been a lot of minimum damage handed out by a lot of people, as Adam pointed out. Nathaniel, you're on top of a giant spider.
I am. Is it outside of the door yet?
No, it's sort of right at the door.
Okay. I can't get it out of the door on this turn, is it?
Yeah, okay.
Take a
Do
movement.
make an animal handling check.
One. 3 minus 2.
Yeah, you slip off the spider.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be under your control
not-
anymore.
Okay.
Nick.
So which spider are we near? Are we near the one that Roland is underneath now, aren't
Yeah,
we?
the huge spider. You're kind of most of you are surrounding the huge spider. Brian has gone over to deal with the Loony Dave, and Nathaniel Lovecraft has just fallen off the giant spider.
Well, I'm still in this ego battle with Manny G.
Yep.
So, is there a way of me getting round him somehow?
No.
Is it even...
So the way it is it's probably not going to resolve. So the spider is here. You've got Roland, Freddy, you, and then the Manchester Guardian is here. So you're kind of in like a horseshoe shape all the way around him. So you can't step between the Manchester Guardian. You could just punch the spider where you're at, doing, if I remember rightly, if we didn't correct it, minus 1 point of damage.
well, yeah, I heal. I have such a bad strength that I heal people by punching them.
Weak. I think we were generous enough to say that you did 1 point of damage.
Did one, yeah. No, I'll do another finger of fire. Why not?
Yep. Okay.
So I'll get. That's better. That's a 19.
That hits.
Cool. What is it? A D4? Seem to remember.
I closed the book, didn't I? Because I thought we'd got all the information. Here we go. Finger of fire. 1d3 points of fire damage.
Oh wow, even worse. So that's 1. Jesus, wept. Minimum damage. Death by 1,000
singe
cuts.
part of the spider. It seems to be the least of the spider's problems.
Yeah.
Rad. Okay. Freddy.
But then I sort of fixed the Manny G. Sorry.
Yep.
Don't know
The
who I was gonna
Manchester
say
Guardian,
there.
yes.
I just fixed Manny G with like a. Yeah.
You fix who, sorry?
Manny G with a look like a. Yeah.
Who's Manny G?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, the Manchester Guardian is too busy wailing on this spider to notice. Freddy.
Punch it.
Yep, okay.
That's a bit better. 60.
Three.
You make contact with your punch. How much damage?
Not an awful lot, but
Let me guess, 1.
He does
that's the wrong
1d3
dice.
plus 2
Let's
damage.
roll the right dice. I do 3 points of damage.
Minimum damage again.
You
Yes,
swing
yeah,
your
minimum
fist
damage.
in amongst what is, let's face it, just a kind of collection of people beating on this creature, except Nick, who is attempting to zap it with fire. You feel the spider crumble, you feel it fall to the ground, and there is a blinding flash, and I'd like everyone please to make a reflex save. When I say everyone, I mean the Manchester Guardian.
Oh,
Probably
yeah,
not.
19. Yeah.
You're all right, Nicole,
Yeah.
Freddie, and Roland.
I was going to say, isn't Roland underneath?
He is, but he's also very dodgy.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
30-20.
See? Okay. How did you get on, Freddie?
Dean.
All right. So, there is a blinding flash, and everyone manages to dodge out of the way, except the Manchester Guardian, who takes a load of damage as the spider just sort of explodes. There is
He only had 5 health, didn't he?
a bright flash. He is still okay, but that didn't do him any good.
A bit less okay than he was about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, you can see the front of his suit starts to kind of
he was
glitch.
far from okay.
He's not good. The front of his suit glitches slightly, and you start to see his real face from kind of behind his fake face. And the huge spider is entirely incinerated. There is only a pile of ash left. That was Freddy's turn.
That was my first action of my turn.
Yep. Would you like to also move?
I feel like Nathaniel's just been bucked off a giant spider.
Yep.
I feel like I should probably go and give him a hand, where we've all been wailing on one spider and he's been dealing with the other one.
Okay, you just dash over
Yeah.
to make an attack on the giant spider. Loony
Think I
Dave.
can attack as well, can I? No.
No,
That's
because
it for my
you've made it. You've made an attack and then you've moved, so it's an action and a move. Loony Dave kind of sees you, Brian. Here's what you have to say, and just says, "No, we've got to get the truth out there. This is people must know," and continues to film. Brian.
I'm going to attempt again to stop him from filming because some
Okay.
of us aren't wearing suits.
Once again, using your inevitable kind of personal charisma, or
But then I'm also going to use. I want to put my hand on the phone and pull his arms down, sort of
okay,
pull it away from the action, so to speak.
that's fine. Make an attack. Make a melee attack. Obviously, we're not going to assume you're just kind of clocking the guy, but
17.
you snatch the phone out of his hand. You're now holding the phone. He says, "No!"
Smash it.
The Manchester Guardian turns and
Who?
zaps the Manchester Guardian, and eye beams fly out of his eyes
I
again,
mean, Manny Dick.
doing 3 points of damage to Giant Spider number 1. I suppose this is progress from when you just decided he was a loser and didn't want anything to do with the important NPC in the campaign.
No, we still think that.
But this is our attempt to engage, yes.
All
On
right.
our terms.
As I say, I think this is better. Top of the round, Roland. As you are
Fists of
stood,
Fire.
Fists of Fire. You've got one round left after this of your Fists of Fire. You're going to rush
Right,
over
well-
and wail on the spider, are you?
Yes, but
Go
I
for it.
rolled a natural 1, so
You miss.
probably not.
Yeah, no, you miss. Yeah,
Wait, is there a flanking bonus to this?
there is, but you don't get it because you have to be directly
Sure.
opposite. And Freddie
cool.
and Nathaniel are directly opposite.
Sure,
You are
fine.
kind of coming in
Because
the
if there was, it would still be an 11.
Okay, two things. One, that would still be a miss, and two, it's a natural 1.
Checking, just checking. All right.
Fast character. I mean, everyone is free to
just
take a
look
level
around
of
and,
fast, by the way.
make sure that no one sees what I just did, and then
Okay, give me a reflex save as you attempt to style it out.
The real reason I grabbed the phone.
12.
You do not style it out.
Oh, no.
It was very difficult to do so. You stumble slightly. It has, however, not caught on camera because Brian is holding the phone.
Oh,
I got you, brother.
he got me.
I got you back.
Yeah, okay. So that is Roland. Nathaniel. All of your friends, or these new friends that you sort of don't really know, have just surrounded the spider you were on.
Okay. I'll just punch it then.
All right.
I guess. 21.
Yes, 21 is definitely enough to hit this spider.
Say. Wait, what's the plus for that?
You are, I think you're normally plus quite a lot, and you're adding even more. Let me have a look. So
1d4 plus 3, is that right?
It's 1d4 plus 3, but you're actually adding another 5 because of your super strength.
Wow.
And altogether then.
Yeah. So 1d4 plus 8.
Oh, that's 10.
Okay, yeah. You land a powerful blow in the creature's sort of eyes. You see them all kind of roll slightly. I don't know if giant spiders have eyeballs, but let's say they do, and let's say they all kind of, yeah. It seems to rock, somewhat unbalanced by your brutal assault. Okay, is there anything else you want to do?
That's pretty much it. If I can't really, my plan's gone
Yep.
to pot, but
No,
let's just,
that's fine.
roll with them.
Nick, there is now an opportunity to step in front of the Manchester Guardian.
Yeah, so I'm going to step between the Manchester Guardian... sorry.
The Manchester
G.
Guardian.
Step between Manny G and the other spider that's still standing. But have I clocked what's happening with Brian and the phone?
Give me a spot check.
Oh, 14.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who adds up for a living, adding up live.
No, it was that it was that the number was off the page.
I see. Yes, you have seen what's going on.
Cool. So as I step in front of Manny G, just be like protecting him again.
Stepping in front of the Manchester Guardian, excellent.
Can I do my usual thing of trying to use my, I'm calling it magic, to like flick the phone out of, well, at this point it's Brian's hand, but just like flick it as far as I can across like the warehouse.
Yes, tick
Can
off
I do
another
that?
use of control object, and
Tick.
Let's say. So, Brian, you're holding the phone and you feel it wrenched out of your control. What do you do? Are you going to hold on, or would you just let it go? given that you have no context for this whatsoever.
No
you just
context,
feel it
but
falling.
the context is that I've just taken a phone from someone who I
Yep.
don't want to have the phone.
Yep.
So I'm not going to be holding it loosely.
Okay.
So
In
it
which
would be
case-
unexpected, but I would be expecting him to try grab his phone back. So I imagine I'd be.
I'd like you
You
to
have it
make
quite tight, yeah.
opposed strength checks then, please.
I get -2.
Yes,
It's
you
not
do.
even my body that's doing it. Never
Oh.
mind. Oh, this might be interesting because I rolled poorly as
Who
well.
rolled the worst?
So is it actually okay? If it's in strength, 5.
Oh, good. I got 7.
I've rolled a 7. I got -2.
I rolled a 6. I got +1.
So,
Nice.
Brian, you feel something wrench at the phone, but you hold it under control.
What the?
Freddy, you're behind the spider.
I'm getting a big plus to hit on this at the moment, aren't I? 'Cause we're
Getting
flanking here.
+4 to whatever you normally get.
I'm just gonna punch the thing.
Yep.
That's more than I got last time, so it's gonna be enough.
You land just another series of vicious blows on the back of this creature. Roll for damage. Oh no.
Minimum damage. Yes, again. 3.
3 points of damage.
Of
As
course
you
it is.
viciously, but not necessarily effectively, wail on the back of this spider. The spider is having a bad time and is going to bite at Nathaniel, but fails to do so. Something about the way it's surrounded by people who are trying to end its life seems to have put it off. Cool. Loony Dave says, "Hey, that's my phone! No, we must get the truth out there!" And attempts to wrestle the phone from your grip. He doesn't do a very good job, and doesn't get you. Kind of as it's wrenched away from you, you turn and sort of present your back, and Dave kind of wraps his arms but isn't able to get anywhere. His tinfoil hat falls off, and he goes, "No!" Brian.
I told you, if you carry on filming this, the Illuminati will get you. And I move away, just enough of a step. I'm not like running away, but I'm
Yep.
trying to move away so that he has to. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a deception check as you attempt to convince him that the Illuminati will get him if he doesn't let you keep his phone.
What does deception? There isn't a deception.
Charisma. There should be a.
There's a bluff.
Yeah, bluff.
It'll be bluff. Yeah.
Still 0.
I thought it might be.
Oh, come back. Where? Oh, I rolled a 20.
He looks terrified. Awesome. The Manchester Guardian, as he sees through the kind of sea of people between him and this spider, once again shoots with his eye blast, leaving only one usage of eye beams left, and that is going to be a miss. No, it's a hit. He hits with his eye beams, doing some damage. Oh boy, this spider looks like it's having a rough day because it's being beaten up by a bunch of savages. Roland, top of the round, you are now stood in front of what is left of this spider.
Wait, so is it dead?
No, not yet.
Okay. Cool.
I would say if you hit, which you almost certainly will, it is dead. As your
So
last
roll
round of...
another natural one. Oh, if it's the last round, I suppose I've got to
it's the
be
last
rude
round
not
of
to
your...
punch it with my fire fists, wouldn't it?
Yep.
1 sec. Okay. It is a natural 13 for 19.
19. Yeah, your fist sinks into the creature, and you once
11
again,
points of damage again.
as the flame consumes, there is a bright flash, and the whole thing is reduced to ash in front of you. as you are stood around. You're now stood around a sort of burnt smudge mark on the warehouse floor. The Manchester Guardian says, "Stand back!" and puts his hand on Nicole's chest. Not on a, just like on her stomach, let's say, for the sake of decency. It's sort of arm across your breast in a way that is in no way sexual and obviously about protection, as he attempts to push you away from the danger.
I just try and sort of do the same, but back to him. So,
Okay.
No, don't worry. I've got it. But I'm actually reaching like...
Yeah,
Don't
you
worry.
make no impression on the 6'6" man who is attempting to hold you back.
I mean, he's pretty beaten up. You could just punch him to the ground at this point.
I heal every time I punch stuff.
Yeah, it would take, let's say,
Negative what?
3 rounds of Nick wailing on the Manchester Guardian to put him down. Nick, how many hit points have you got?
I'm a full hit points. I've got 12.
Yeah, there's every chance that in the second round she would be dead. The Manchester Guardian is hench, guys. Even when not using his super strength, which he might do, he is real strong. There is a moment of silence as you are all clustered round this kind of burn mark. And Loony Dave says, "They always do that. What is with this?"
Are you looking to us, Francis? Because we're just as, I'll be honest.
Why are you here? Because I
Beat these things
followed
up.
my investigation into the society led me here. I believe they own this warehouse. It's one of 2 properties that I managed to tie through shell companies and various other holdings to in Manchester. They own these 2 properties.
Which is the other one?
The other one is a basement property underneath. He says, turning to his notes because he's finally going to need them. That's not the right. I need the next session, I think. Here we go. He says, it's... There we go. I finally found it. It is here somewhere. He says, it's a basement property underneath the Eden Square Mall. Shopping centre. I'm not an American. I don't know why I said mall. And he picks up and puts the tinfoil hat back on his head.
How long were you without that hat on?
I just dropped it. I was trying to get my phone back. We need to get the truth out there.
That's
You've been exposed.
I just look really grimacing at him as though he's just done something absolutely horrific by dropping his hat.
Make a bluff check.
Action point. Come on. It's worth it.
I do not need it. 19.
Yeah, not with this 1 I just rolled for a will save. He says, "All right, I'll just..." and he hands you a business card. It says, "Dave Aidsthorpe, investigator, truth revealer," and it's got his phone number on it. He says, "Facility under Eden Square. Call me when you know more. We have to release the truth. But I'm compromised." And he runs out of the main door of the warehouse and into the night.
Who
Do
has
you
his
want
phone?
your... No. I have his phone.
There is a sort of brief moment where you see a dark shape re-emerge and then go, "No, compromised," and run back into the darkness.
Wait, no, isn't this the phone that is the phone number on the card?
Yeah.
Have we got the if we ring his number, is it gonna ring in
It's going to be the mobile that
Brian's
you're
pocket? Yeah.
Yep.
Just so we know.
Oh dear.
Does it have an email address on?
No, It's just got a mobile phone number.
Okay.
You make
Do-
sure
do
he's
I have
not
any
like
other way of
uploaded the video to the cloud or something.
Sorry, there were two things there. One of which was Brian, make a computer use check as you attempt to work out whether or not he's done anything with the video.
Computer use. All the great rolls today. That's a natural 1 plus 2.
Oh,
That's a
no.
whole big
You
old
accidentally
3.
lock the phone. You don't know.
Oh no. It's always the longest 5 minutes of your life, isn't it? And the phone locks.
Freddie, what were you wanting to know?
I've forgotten now.
Oh, okay.
I said something and it's gone from my head for a second.
Well, we'll recover it on the audio, but it'll be too late.
Oh, that was it. That was it. It was I was looking for. Have I got any other way of contacting him? Being his friend, have I got him on like Facebook or
Yeah, I mean,
some form of social media or something?
You have an email address.
Because I didn't
him.
get in contact with him in the first place via a phone, did I?
No, I think you texted him to start with, and then he gave you gave you quite a circuitous route to get hold of him. But you'll probably be able to track him down again. Yeah. If you need to.
Okay.
He's going to be dead surprised when you go, "We have your phone."
Oh, I'm not going to tell him that we've got his phone.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to totally bluff my way through this whole next conversation.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. So the Manchester Guardian says, you hear what he said? The Society have another property under Eden Square. Maybe
I just
not
put
today.
my hand on his shoulder and say, "You're not today. Not today."
No, but we have to.
You are in no state to go today.
I'll be in touch. We have to get in contact. We need to do this together.
Yes.
We have to get to the bottom of this. And he then says,
How about in 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days. We'll maybe. How about next weekend? Maybe just because. And there's blood.
Okay. Next weekend sounds great.
He looks around, seeing that there's no one else around. He removes his face, and his nose is broken. He's got a massive black eye, a cut down his cheek, and just blood streaming from his teeth. He looks really beaten up. He's like, this hides some of the pain. Pulls the hood back on, up and away. Turns around and then runs into the darkness.
Slightly limping.
Yeah, with a slight limp.
We didn't recognise him, did we?
I turn around to the other four and go, so maybe not next weekend, maybe before that.
I'm good to throw down with or without Manny G. He's good to have in a fight, but I mean we're pretty good. Have you seen how strong Freddy is over here? Oh wait, no, I'm not Freddy. Nathaniel.
As you're looking over at me, I've got like a paper bag I'm just breathing into, just panicking at the strength.
Maybe next weekend.
And with that, with a plan that you will either waiting for the Manchester Guardian to contact you, or at some point midweek, you're going to visit the facility underneath Eden Square, where you believe the Society has some sort of facility. We will call today to a close. If you've been watching, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for joining us. It's just a joy to do it, to be honest, but it's lovely that people watch. We are available as a podcast, the D20 Future Show, on all good, neutral and evil podcast platforms. We're also available on Facebook, and you can find us on Twitter at D20 Future Show. And now we will quickly say, let me do the thing. That's what I do. As we say, hang on, that's what we do. As we say goodbye from Adam. Goodbye from Aled.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Alex. Goodbye from Charlie. Goodbye from George. And goodbye from me, Richard. It's been a pleasure to have you. Bye bye.